Hi guys! This is me, Jollypear, and I'm going to recap about my trip to the United States after I haven't been abroad for 2 years because of the pandemic hit all over the world. I've been to North America for like 2 weeks, and the town that I decided to go was Eugene. Eugene is a small town in Oregon. The reason that my family and I traveled there is because my sister studied in the University of Oregon, aka UO, like the dogs. She has been there for like 3 months, and that's why we decided to go there. I flew there on December 14th. I was stuck at the airport in San Francisco because I missed the flight. The reason why I missed the flight was that I had only like 1 hour of transit time. So I was stuck in the immigration for like a while. I mean, it's more than an hour. And the staff told me that, "Oh, miss, you missed the flight already, so you have to book another one." And I was like, haha. And then I rebooked the flight, and I got a flight at I think 7:30. It's dark outside because it's winter. The sun set since like 4 o'clock, so I couldn't have anything else to do but wait. Luckily, my sister friend were in town. They were hanging out together in downtown, so they were able to like pick me up at the airport. We went to downtown together for a while, but I didn't have that kind of feeling of partying at all. I was so exhausted from the long flights, and I had to wait for like so many hours. Finally, I arrived around like 3 a.m. in the morning, so totally I used up the time like for travel for 2 days in a row. If you're asking me like how was Eugene, I think it is a small town. It's really quiet for me. There's no tourists except us. It's just like a town that has mainly university students and also like some eaters from so many states decided to stay there because it's really friendly for them. There were buses that were Lyft, which is kind of like Uber or Grab in Thailand. We have to like book a ride in the applications, and then we pay for it. But I think it's not that convenient for us to use it almost every day because it's expensive. But I enjoyed my time there with my family and also like my sister's friends. They showed me a lot of places, so I kind of appreciated them. They drove us everywhere, and we cooked Thai food for them, and we brought like Thai snacks for them. We exchanged cultures, which is kind of like fun for us. I laughed a lot. I laughed till I cried already. She had like Japanese friends and American friends, and we do have different kinds of cultures like between Westerner and like us Asians. We were there for a week. We went to the University of Oregon because my sister studied there, and she showed us a lot of like buildings where she worked at a burrito place. After that, we went to so many good restaurants. We went to Mexican food stores, which is called Chipotle. I absolutely love it. Also, we went to BJ's, which is an American food. They were pizzas, and they were grill meat and any kinds of stuff like that. We enjoy our day and night in Eugene. My mom loved shopping, so we went to shopping mall. There were Nordstrom Racks, there were Macy's. After that, we went to Portland, and we stayed in Portland for like a week, but I was in Portland for only 3 days because my flight would be on 23rd. But it was terrible. Since in Eugene, it was sunny. I mean, it was raining sometimes, but mostly sunny. In contrast, in Portland, it was freaking cold because it was raining and it was snow. Actually, it's not that kind of normal situation that is snowing in Portland. We were in downtown. The hotel that we booked was not good. If you want to know the hotel's name, you can DM me. I didn't have my pleasant sleep at night because the room was not clean enough, and I'm kind of like easily allergic to like dog's fur. Unfortunately, in that room on the sofa there were bunches of like dog furs. It's everywhere. It's actually in the air, and I was like, oh, I'm allergic to it. My nose swollen, my throat also swollen too. It was such a hard time for me to like survive. I was like, I couldn't. So I went to the reception, and then I changed the room. It was a little bit better. And then transportation in Portland are way better than Eugene because there were a lot of transportation accessible, and we went to downtown. There were shopping malls, but you know, it's not that amazing, or it has various kinds of stuff for us to choose. I don't know, maybe like people go there for nature, but it's not for us because we didn't rent a car, so it's hard for us to just like go elsewhere in Portland. So we just like stuck in downtown area. Some parts of it look similar to the streets in Korea, like both sides of the street there were like unique stores, like the handmade handcraft stores. So that's kind of amazing stuff there. And at night it was dark, there were a lot of homeless everywhere, and we were kind of nervous. My sister and I did nervous about that, and so we avoided to go outside at night. But as I told you guys, at 4 p.m. it's dark already, so mostly we did use Lyft. I was there for only 3 days, so I didn't have that much kind of stuff to just like chit-chat about. And the most adventurous experience that I'm going to tell you guys now is the flight back home. I mentioned previously that my original flight would be on 23rd at 6 a.m. So I woke up at 3 and my sister booked a Lyft for me from our hotel to the airport, and I was there since 4:30 or something. Like, I'm ready to get home. I got my bag checked in, like checked through to Bangkok. Everything was fine until 6 o'clock. The day before that day, I've heard the news about the winter storm. I was nervous a little bit. I called my boyfriend and I told him that, do you think that I will make it tomorrow? The winter storm hit the whole region, and I saw that at Seattle, there were like 158,000 people left at the airport, like they stuck there. And I was like, I really wish that it wouldn't happen in Portland. Unfortunately, at 6 o'clock, the staff announced that the flight was canceled. And then it's affected my second flight and my third flight as well. My routes were PDX, SFO, NRT, and then BKK. So it's kind of a long way back home. It wasn't only my flight that was cancelled, but all of the flights on that day were cancelled. It was such a tough time for me because I have to rebook over again. And I went to the counter and I asked the staff like, when is going to be the first flight that fly out from here. The staff checked for me, and then she told me that you have to call the United Airline agent. So I try to call like everybody. I have to call ANN as well, but I didn't have US number. It's so hard for me to like contact everyone. I was so nervous and I cried a lot because it's kind of hard for me to get the same route again. I shouldn't have stuck there, but due to the weather condition, which is kind of sucks. This is not normal. Finally, like contact staff, I told them that okay, I can fly whenever and wherever in this world. Can you please like help me get back to Thailand? I can do the standby whatsoever. Just get me out here. And she handed me one flight to San Francisco in the morning. She ticketed me in a standby. I would be staying overnight at the airport. I was there alone. I was so scared and afraid of everything surrounded. It was terrible. But in the meantime, I made so many friends. There were a lot of people like were in the same situation as mine. Because all of the flights got cancelled, so they were stuck. And there were no Uber, no Lyft, because the conditions outside were like down, like the trams were down. There were no buses as well. Like my mom and dad and my sister are also stuck at the hotel. They cannot go out. The problem was the road and the runway were slippery. And there were a lot of people helping me out of that stuck situation. At night, I met a guy. He originally from Canada. He saw me crying on my phone. He helped me a lot, and I really appreciate what he did. He tried to like build me a shelter, and I was like, oh, that's so kind of you. Like, I didn't get any sleep, and he tried to get me to sleep. I couldn't help, but I slept on the floor. That's so hard to like survive, but I did it already. I mean, it was so stinky. I smelled of cigarette. I smelled of everything dirty, and I was like, I can't. I couldn't bear it, but I had to. And he told me that, this is kind of new experience and adventure. To just look in the optimistic side. At least you can stay here by yourself. At least this is gonna be the worst situation in your life that not so many people experience that. And at night when I was trying to find a charger to charge my phone, I was in the middle of the airport and everyone found their places to sleep or to rest already, but I was alone sitting up like this and plug my AirPod and just like listening to music just to make myself feel a little bit better. Then there were homeless. He spoke languages that I couldn't understand, but I heard his voice. That voice like coming up near me, like a little bit. I opened up my eye. I felt that he was near me like that. And then I was like, I pulled my charger and then I ran. Cause he was about to like approach me really like close. I was about to cry, but I had to run first. And then here comes the morning. I did everything past the kiosks around 5:30, which is the time that everyone should be like ready to board. Captain told us that unfortunately there were ice everywhere, it cannot be defrosted, so we were unable to fly. I cried over and over again because even San Francisco, I couldn't go there. Then I went to the counter and I asked the staff like, is there any other way or can you swap me to like any other airlines? I checked the price of the tickets and there's none. Like the fastest flights would be on next year, like January and February 23rd. And I was like, the heck, I shouldn't stuck here over years. I couldn't stand, so I told the staff, I was like, can you issue me new tickets? Take me out of here, please. I cried in front of her, like in front of everyone, because she just told me that she's so sorry. There's no flights. There's no way out. It was such a tough time for me like to figure out like what to do next. But then seems like God saw me. At that time, Captain told us that they're gonna swap the plane. There's another plane will fly out to Denver, and that plane like 95% defrosted already, so ready to like take off. And I told them that I stay overnight here waiting. Is there any other chance that I can get back to Thailand? Can you please do anything like just to help me get back to my hometown? Most of the people are flying domestically, so my flight is the longest one and it's the hardest one. And I checked, there would be 2 flights flying out from San Francisco to Narita and San Francisco to Haneda on that day. Can you please help me getting that tickets? Eventually she told me that luckily you got the seats, and okay, oh God, I'm all for it. Anything. All of my effort is staying overnight at the airport. I successfully got tickets and I was like so glad that I have my seat confirmed. I really appreciated of every person's effort that helping me. And I took the first flight. It was such a terrible flight. The runway was slippery and I hold with another foreigner's hand, and then she asked me if I'm okay, but I was like, I'm all good. And you know, the plane's like that the whole time that I flew out of Portland. Eventually I did. And the thing was, I have to rush because I have like less than 20 minutes and I have to like swap to like from gate F to gate G. It's distancing. I have to run with a big backpack and also like a bag. In San Francisco, it wasn't that cold, it was sunny, great nice skies, I love it, and I made it within 15 minutes. Luckily that I had the application that showed me the gate, because in my boarding pass that was printed out, there wasn't a gate in that paper, and I successfully on the plane way back to Japan. I can't imagine myself like did all of this thing on my own, and I'm so glad that I knew a lot of people who helped me. They were so kind, super helpful. They emailed me because they were so worried about me, like, how was your flight? Did you make it to San Francisco? Have you arrived in Thailand? I couldn't be here without all of you. The guy from Vancouver also told me that just keep on fighting. If you want to go home, you have to do it. I'll let you stuck here. At least I can smile this wide again, you know. It was such a huge adventurous experience I have ever had in my entire 25 years of living on Earth. And yay! Finally, I got home! Also, I would like to give a special thanks to my boyfriend because he was the one who was with me virtually. He never missed my call. He promptly replied to my messages. I'm so appreciated. He was the reason why I did every way to get out of there, find my way back home as soon as possible before 28. And finally, I figured out where to go. By the way, thank you so much for listening to what I've been through. It's just chit-chatting time. Love you guys.